Students, Assalamu alaikum, hello, hi to all my viewers and listeners. I welcome you all. As you know, the slide is before you, and the topic is formal and informal writing. And in this video, dear listeners and viewers, we will discuss what formal writing is and what is the informal writing, and what should we do while writing formally and what should we not while informally and formally. So we come towards the slide, the next slide that will just take us towards the main topic. Now, the second slide is before you, and the point you will just for student you will just follow the cursor. What do you already know? Okay, we use certain language whenever we communicate with people, and we know that we communicate with different people on different occasions, and we also know that our tone and the words and phrases just change time to time and person to person. This is the thing that we do in our daily life. This is not a new thing. This is a practice that we already do in our lives. For example, when we know when we are going to talk with our friends, our tone just gets changed, and our words and the choice of words is also changes, and we use a kind of slang words and kind of contractions and such kind of things, and to amuse our friends and amuse them, our friends as well. So what I want to say is, okay, as I have already told you, that we know whenever we talk with our friends, our tone gets changed. And when, suppose, you are in a house and there is a knock at the door, and yes, you just go outside and just you find a stranger there, and do you know that your tone and the choice of words changes? Did you ever think why the tone and the choice of words have changed when you are talking to a stranger? And when you talk to, and if there is not a stranger and there is a friend, your words and the choice and the tone will be different. So in this slide, think about how you communicate with different types of people. Do you use the same tone? No, we do not use the same tone and the words and phrases to communicate with your friends, and you do when you communicate with your parents and your teachers. Okay, as I just gave you the example of knocking at the door and the talking with your friends and talking with the strangers, our tone and the words changes. And whenever you enter our houses and we talk with our parents, do you know what kind of words we use when we talk to our parents or when we talk to our teachers? Yes, we just restrict our tongue. We just use different language and different tone while we talk to our parents or while we talk to our teachers. So this is the main thing, students and the learners and the listeners, that we do practice in our daily life, and then now the comes is the practice of those tone and those words that we are to use in writing as well. This is the thing. And now the word difficulties changes. Okay, now just imagine when you talk to the strangers, do you imagine that you can talk with the same tone and the same words with the stranger as well? No. And if, what will happen when you would talk with the same tone and the same word, we use the same words as we do with our friends, and the same words we use with our parents? Can we imagine that our parents will not get annoyed? Okay, if we will use the same tone and the same words everywhere and with every person and at every occasion, we will find difficulties. We will find difficulties and hardships in our daily lives. This is what I want to say. Okay, now we come towards the next slide. Audience and the purpose. Okay. Now, what is the audience and the purpose? Dear students, we should know to whom are we talking about and what is the purpose of our talking. Okay, we communicate formally or informally. we we know about both our audience and the purpose for our communication. Whenever we communicate with people, we know to whom are we going to talk, and when and what is the purpose of our communication. So the purpose and the audience just differentiate the tone and the choice of words between for us that we are going to write or we are going to speak. Then we pick the style that we think will best open our audience up to listen to our ideas. Okay, when we know that we have a certain audience and we have a certain occasion to talk about or to write about, okay, we will change our tone, we will change our style. This is what formal and informal style requires from us. If we talk to our friends and to our, we know how to talk with our friends, we know how to talk with our strangers, and we know how to talk with our parents, and what kind of tone and what kind of words we have to use with while we talk to our parents or while we talk to our teachers. Dear listeners, we are to use the same tone and the same words and the same expression on the page as well. This is what formal in writing or informal writing is all about. Okay, now we go towards the formal writing style as well. Formal mean, first of all, if you are going to going to write to our principal or our write to your teacher, or you are going to write a letter to your principal, what kind of language you will use. Here I will tell you what kind of language you will use. You should be polite and impersonal. You should not be personal. You should be impersonal. And your style and your choice of words will be polite. You should not use slang words. Slang words mean that words that just divert the attention to whom you are going to talk about, mean the words that are not official words, and they are mostly used with friends when we talk with our friends, and these kind of things that just are used whenever we talk to our friends, because it's a casual kind of words and casual kind of things that we use there. Avoid Okay, now the third point is that we should avoid using abbreviations. Abbreviation mean can't. We should not use can't, haven't, like this. We should use has not, have not, yeah, cannot. All these things you can use. Now the other thing is they avoid using first personal pronoun I, we, you, they. You cannot use I while you are going to speak to your, you are going to write to your teacher, or you are going to write with your parents. Do not use contractions. This is the same thing, abbreviation and the contractions. Do not use too short sentences. Too short sentences mean the sentence is okay, it should be short, but it should not be too short that creates a difficulty for your teachers or your principal to understand it. Avoid using figurative figurative language, as I have already discussed it earlier in my earlier videos, that simile, metaphors, idioms, phrases, phrasal words are all personifications and hyperbole, irony, ironical languages, ironical words you cannot use in formal writing a formal letter or other formal essays type things. You should be precise in writing. Your writing should not be verbose. I want to say, unnecessary examples and unnecessary context and unnecessary references. You should avoid all those things. Word choice tends to be precise and technical, and your voice, your choice of words should be precise. As I have already told you, you should not be more descriptive. You cannot give examples and references and the instances and the happenings of the past to give to just communicate with while you are communicating or writing to your principal or formally writing formally. Now I just take you towards the final slide, and the final slide is about informal writing. How to write informal style? We can use figurative language. Here you are now you are going to write to your friends, to your comrades, to the people whom you know very well, and here you can use similes and metaphors and idioms and phrases, and you are free to use them. You can use idioms, phrases, verbs, and other styles like this, and you can be more descriptive. Here you can add descriptives, you can be more descriptive. You can add examples, and you can add details to explain your points, and you can give the references of the past, and you can use the even you can use the incidents that have had happened in the past to explain your point while you are using or writing informally. And you can use contractions and slang words as well. Here you can use contractions as well and slang words as well. And dear listeners, there is a question, there will be a question in your mind, what is a slang word? The slang word is basically a vulgar kind of words and very casual kind of language that cannot be acceptable for the people whom you are going to write. So this is the thing that I wanted to discuss with you. I hope you will have understand what is informal and formal writing, and how can we use, and what kind of things we should use while we write formally, and how can we choose words while we write informally. Thank you very much. I hope you would like this video. If you like it, just share with others, and